It feels like it's been forever, right? Since United have kicked the ball. But hey, we are back. Manchester United travel to take on Everton at their new ground, the Hill Dickinson Stadium. And to be quite honest, I want revenge against these. Under every manager, we've seemed to struggle to break down low blocks. We've dropped crucial points recently against West Ham because of it, and we dropped points against Everton in November as a result as well, even when they went down to 10 men. Well, I think that and Ruben Amorim's reluctance to roll the dice on Kobbie Mainoo or Shea Lacey on the day, but I digress. We're going to preview what I hope is our revenge arc today. We're going to talk preview, we're going to talk tactics, team news, score predictions, starting 11, and all of that, you guys. This is United vs. Everybody. I am your host, Sean. We are back. Welcome to the channel. If this is your first time, let us know where you're watching from. Let us know who you are, what you're doing. We are on the road to 3K, you guys. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, make sure you let us know what your favorite moments have been for this fixture over the years. Maybe it's Garnacho's Puskas goal. Maybe it's Valencia's screamer from a couple years ago. Let me know, guys. I will be right back to get your thoughts. Let's get stuck in. What is going on? How's everybody's weekend going? Anybody watching any games? I mean, obviously, we probably all watched the North London derby. Sorry, Spurs are just absolute shit, unfortunately. Of course, Arsenal decided they wanted to remember how to play actual football again, but it is what it is. Did anybody watch any other matches this weekend? Anybody watch anything outside of the Premier League this weekend? A little bit of news. I mean, the under-18s beat Wolves yesterday, very early in the morning. I don't know if you guys watched any of that. I was kind of live commenting on that as it was going on. We did beat them. JJ Gabriel, man, I don't know what to tell you. The kid is absolute fire. He's absolute fire. We beat them. I think it was, what did it end up? 3-1. Is that what it was? But JJ Gabriel with an excellent worldy goal. Let me put this on the screen for you guys so we can all watch it together. But he pulled out this little bit of magic. Oops, sorry. Press the button on accident. There we go. So the ball is going to go back to the defender. And a brilliant little run from JJ. Right here. Now he's got 3 defenders on him. He says, I don't care. Rocket, right. And that's Giggsy S. You guys remember that Giggsy goal? Let's watch it again. We'll watch it from like here, though. Just spins, creates the space, rocket. Absolute screamer from JJ Gabriel. Big up the kid. The future looks bright with kids like JJ and like Noah Ajayi and the Fletchers and all these guys. Kone. We've got so many good youngsters. Ajayi actually bagged another for United, so that was our opener. It was superb. Ajayi bagged another one who looks very good on the left-hand side. It was quiet after that. Wolves pulled one back in the second half, but then United restored a 2-goal lead. We got a penalty late on in the second half, and Kota was brought down in the box. JJ put it away to get himself a brace, ended 3-1 United. We looked excellent. We pressed with energy. We pressed with fight as well. We did well to create those chances simply because of just fighting and pressing high up the pitch. And so I really like that a lot. Let me see who else is in the chat today. Big up Danny B's in the house. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Hope you guys are having a good weekend. Let me know what you guys are up to this weekend. Yeah. What did I literally just say the other day about Liverpool being jammy? They got another jammy result today. They did not deserve to win that match. They were by far and away the worst side on the day against Forest. Forest were good. The problem with Forest is just quality. Their attackers are absolute garbage. Specifically their wingers. I'm not trying to be like mean, but like Hutchinson, Hudson-Odoi, they're just bad. They're hesitant. They're slow. They have no decision making whatsoever. They didn't make runs when they should have made runs. They played the wrong ball. They're just bad. They're just bad. If they had better attackers, I think Forest would have gotten a result today. But the Bin Dippers, man, they're just freaking jammy, dude. So annoying. But yeah, let us know what you guys are getting up to this weekend. Unfortunately, the women's team are out of their FA Cup. They did lose 2-1 to Chelsea and went into added extra time. It was all level, 1-1 at full time. So they are out, unfortunately. I think injuries to some key players just kind of caught up to us. Obviously, Jade Riviere's out for this one. She was injured, unfortunately. And so it is what it is. Jess Park had a bit of a quiet night as well. But what you going to do? But what are we going to do? Let's see. Big up Stephanie's in the house. Hope you're doing well, Stephanie. Hope you're having a good weekend. Let us know what you're getting up to, you guys. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, please. Don't forget as well, I did put a link pinned to the chat. It is the final day to score 20% off in the store. So you can get all sorts of stuff in there, including your Fergie Time mug, or you guys probably see me rocking the new shirt, the King Cantona shirt. You can get that in the UVE store as well. Just got this the other day. I do enjoy it. So yes, last day for 20% off. Let's talk about this match, shall we? Now, of course, we all remember the absolutely embarrassing 1-0 defeat at Old Trafford early in the season to Everton. It was something we wanted to forget. Some of us probably went through great lengths to try to force ourselves to forget about it. 1-0 up, down to 10 men. Everton simply parked the bus. Ruben Amorim could not find a way to break them down. Or again, like I said earlier, he refused to find a way to break them down because we needed more creativity. We needed more attacking, something that even in that post-match presser, he claimed that we didn't have, despite Kobbie Mainoo and Shea Lacey being on the bench. Probably could have made a difference. Who knows? I'm not saying they 100% would have, but to claim you don't have enough attacking options and you've got two creative attacking players on the bench is just a bit of ridiculousness. But regardless, it's a result that really shouldn't have happened, a result we haven't forgotten anytime soon. Funny, too, because last season, Amorim had us running out 4-0 victors at home to these, so it is what it is. But we did draw 2-2 with them in February, so a bit of a, they're not bogey side, but when you know what to expect, and when it doesn't go your way, you're gonna be in for a long day. But before that, it was all United when these two sides met in the past. Everton are 8th right now. They've got 37 points. Just 2 wins, 2 draws, and a loss in their last 5. So they're on a little bit of a run of form here. But they don't score a ton of goals. In fact, they've only scored more than 1 goal once in that stretch of games as well. So they don't rely on a ton of goals. They want to wear you down with a patient no block. They want to hit you on a break. They want to nick a goal, and then they want to just park the bus. That's their MO. That's just what they do. They don't tend to score that many goals all that often either. They're 14th right now for XG. They're 17th for shots on target per 90. They're not great at home either since moving to their new stadium. Just 4 wins, 4 draws, and 5 losses at their new ground. They are, in fact, winless in their last 5 games at the Hill Dickinson Stadium. So it is what it is. We did have a chance to lock in 4th place, create a bit of a points cushion for ourselves last time out, but slow play, slow changes from Michael Carrick saw us manage to salvage just a point against West Ham. What are you going to do? We dropped to 4th, though, 45 points. We are a couple points behind Villa still. They did manage a late draw against Leeds. We are level on points with Chelsea, level on points with the Bin Dippers as well. So 3 teams, 45 points apiece. It's really, really annoying. I'm so annoyed. But 4 wins in the draw to West Ham in our last 5, and our first 5 on the Michael Carrick right now. So that is where United are at these days in latest form table. What can we expect to see from Everton? Well, when you think of Everton, you sort of think of park the bus, right? And you kind of would be right. If you look at this table I stumbled across earlier, this is from The Athletic. This is going to give you a breakdown of how these teams set up out of possession in the Premier League. And I've highlighted Everton. Everton's MO, again, is to, spend most of the game in quick breaks, transitions. That is what they want to do. That's why they want to break us down. We tend to set up in that mid-block as well. So that's kind of where I'm, but we also try to hit people on the break as well. So a little bit of both. Everton, literally, we're just going to park the bus, basically. They have the 4th lowest average possession in the Premier League. They are 6th for clearances per 90, 5th for accurate long balls per 90. So again, all that means they're going to sit back, they're going to clear the danger, and then they're going to try to hit you on the break. That is what they do. They want to invite you into that press. They want to get it wide. Now, this has been their attacking channels over the season. Now, this is with Jack Grealish. Obviously, Jack Grealish has not been there, but you can see when Jack Grealish is on the pitch, they strongly go down that left-hand side. The other second most side they want to attack down is that right-hand side with Iliman and Jai. We know him. He can be a threat. He can be a handful. Our left-sided defenders are really going to have to be switched on. But again, look for them to hit him on their right-hand side, get it to him early, get to him wide, get it high up the pitch. They do tend to maintain a compact defensive shape. And when opposition has failed to capitalize on chances against Everton, Everton can sneak a 1-0 win. They are fourth for goals conceded per 90, though, third for clean sheets as well. And so they don't let in a ton of goals either. We really are going to have to capitalize on our chances. But really, it's just against the counterattacking sides that they want to do that. When they face teams who are a little more open and things, they switch things up a little bit. Their average position on the pitch is a little bit higher against sides that don't use counterattack. So see how it goes. Recently, David Moyes has also shown flexibility and even a little bit of deviation from that park the bus, though. Against Leeds, for instance, Everton were not great in the first half. Moyes made 2 substitutions at halftime. He actually shifted to a back 3 and utilized Mikalenko and Patterson as wingbacks to kind of get more numbers forward. So David Moyes has shown he can step out of his comfort zone if he needs to, but they are still vulnerable in wide areas. They are still vulnerable to balls in the box. They concede a lot of goals from crosses in the box, especially at the back post. So we want to make sure we can get that ball, which is going to have an impact on my starting 11. Don't forget, I want to know your starting 11s and I want to know your scores a little later on here. And let's see what you guys are saying. Danny does not trust these players and their mentality to get Champions League over the line. We'll see. I mean, it's all, I think if we can up the tempo a little bit, I think that's going to be key. But let me jump ahead here in a second. Bexy's in the house, says, I fancy United to win. Hope they start with Cunha and Mbumo and Shesko. Yeah, don't let me know your starting 11s and let me know what your predictions are. I do have a poll going in the chat right now. So far, 100% of you are predicting a United win. 70 says Everton's bus is a bloody double-decker bus as well. Yeah, they got some big boys back there. But some of them are not going to be around for this match tomorrow. O'Brien got himself suspended, which might be better for them in a case because, I mean, he was a center back playing as right back. That is never as smooth as some people like to think. Grealish is out for the season. I think he had foot surgery or something, so he's no longer. So that was a bit of a short-lived spell. Their attack is not great. Beto, Tierno Barry are not great. They squander chance after chance after chance. And the problem is that they know that when they squander these chances, that when they make these mistakes, when they fail to capitalize, they know they're looking over at the touchline because they know they're about to get hooked. Whoever is starting will get hooked. And I think that's going to kill their confidence. We've seen that kind of get into the back of their minds. It's like a weight that they carry around on their shoulders. And it's not necessarily bad, but you can tell it's kind of affecting them. You know, strikers do rely a lot on confidence. We saw it with Rasmus Højlund. We even seen a little bit with Shesko. When they know that, like, hey, you missed these many chances, we're going to get to the 65th minute, you're getting hooked. It does kind of get into your head. Obviously, Njai is going to be a threat. Dewsbury Hall can be trouble as well. He did score their winner against us last time out, so just forget about that. They do spread their goals out, though. Dewsbury Hall, Barry, and Njai all on 5 goals this season. But without Jack Grealish, like I said, their chance creation is going to suffer. Their fullbacks are not great defensively, but it does sound like with O'Brien being out, David Moyes hinted that maybe Seamus Coleman could get a look in, and he's about 53 years old. So I fancy a bit of pace, a bit of directness against their fullbacks, especially Mikalenko. I think if we can keep them pinned back, because David Moyes will try to get them forward. He wants to get numbers in the area. He wants to get balls in the box. If we can keep them pinned back with some pace on the wings, could give ourselves a good shot here. But the real issue is going to be James Garner. He has been excellent this season, recently signed a new contract, and he is the major conduit for Everton's buildup. You can see that their passing network, everything goes through him. When someone's in trouble, they try to find Garner. When they're building out from the back, they try to find Garner. He has really leveled up his game in terms of his just ability to dictate tempo, dictate possession, and really just be the quarterback in many ways for them. He is a constant presence for them in midfield. Only Jack Grealish had more goal involvements in open play shot ending sequences than James Garner this season. He's been crucial for them in the overall chance creation for Everton. He's averaging a career high 4.5 tackles and interceptions per 90. Only 3 players in the Premier League have covered more ground than him, so the guy literally just does it all. He's also one of the best pressers of the ball in the league this season. These are his passes, too. And you can see he's playing a lot of direct passes for them as well, which you don't you don't want to let him get too much time on the ball. But in terms of pressures on the ball, you can see the guy literally covers every blade of grass to try to put pressure on the opposition. I meant to put it in here too as well, but in the Premier League in general, the Premier League is the league out of all the top European leagues and whatever, you get less time on the ball in the Premier League than any other league, and I think it's at least by half a second. So, guys like James Garner are what contribute to that statistic because he wants to do everything he can. He is. This is the only reason why I was like, we should have put in a cheeky bid for him and try to turn his head and get him in here in January. We could have really used him back in this side. I think he's been one of the best midfielders in the Premier League this season. It's just unfortunate that he's, at Everton and they're just not great. Bexley says, I think if Shesko becomes more of a threat, United will hit top four. We're gonna have to. It's gonna be up to Carrick. His team selection. He's been a little bit reluctant to switch things up, and I get to an extent, sticking with what works. But I think like against West Ham, for instance, and I think we're gonna see it again tomorrow. You're gonna need Shesko. We're not gonna get space, and so you don't need a lot of pacey attackers. Like Mbumo as a 9, I don't think is gonna work as much. You need to get that ball forward, or you need to have someone like Shesko win the ball from Lamens or from Licha or whoever, and have runners around him to maybe. But you have to play it early. You have to play faster. We were way too slow against West Ham, and it reminded me of when we were under Ruben Amorim. It's just too slow. It was really frustrating. Yeah, Danny, I agree. Definitely would have loved to have him back. I think he ticks a lot of boxes. I think he would have been an excellent replacement for Casemiro. I mean, never say never, but now it's just going to cost more because he got a new contract. Whereas he was entering the final year, I think they had an extra option or whatever. Stephanie says James Garner is a solid player, getting better and better. Yeah, and this is sometimes like, I don't know what the deal was, if we just didn't see it at the time, or if we just wanted the money, or new manager just wanted their own players. It didn't really matter. But like, even at the time when we sold him, I thought he was a better option in midfield than like Fred. I think we should have just kept him. But how much did we get for him? Like, not that much either. Like, it's very frustrating. I don't know what the thought process there. I would kill to know what goes on in behind closed doors when those decisions are made. But we know that back then we had some idiot sticks running making those kind of decisions at this club. So maybe we just chalk it up to another idiotic decision. I don't know, but yeah, I mean, I know we sold him for FFP. Same with like McTominay and whatnot. But I'm just curious as to like what the deal was there, because I thought he was much better than who we had at the time in midfield. Personally, at least in that role. Because like you can look at McTominay at Napoli and say he's doing better. It's just a different role at Napoli than he was playing at United, unfortunately. Stephanie says, well, the Ahmad and Kabi are due a goal, but it will be a usual suspect scoring again for us. Maybe another Casemiro header. Yeah, I want to know your guys' starting 11s here. I want to know how you guys would set us up. What do you think is the team that's going to put us in the best position to get maximum points tomorrow? Danny says, remember, Maguire wouldn't leave to West Ham. I mean, it's hard, right? There's a balance there with things like that. Like, you want a player who backs themselves. Like, I didn't mind Henderson backing himself as number one. Like, you want that mentality. We can't say we like that mentality and then turn around and criticize players for doing it. Like, it is what it is. But I mean, I also get the understanding, like, not having Maguire, maybe that would have helped. It is what it is at this point. I think that I would have just preferred to sell Fred at that point. Maybe sell someone like Alanga or something a little earlier. I don't know, but maybe way back. That was back when maybe I was like, maybe when PSG wanted Rashford, instead of giving him a new contract, we should have just sold Rashford. We could have got 100 million for him. Like, FFP solved. Garner's still here, but bish bash bosh. It is what it is. But 6 likes, 19 watching. You lurkers out there, we are just 5 away from 3K subs, you guys. I would love it. Share the video if you can. Share the stream. Hit that like. Tell your dad. Tell your mom. Tell the mail carrier. Tell the cashier at the grocery store, at Tesco, whatever. Get us to 3K. We are just like 5 short. So I would love to get there live if we can. But yes, please hit that like button. Please subscribe if you guys are new. As far as United go, hopefully, Michael Carrick has learned from the West Ham game. We can't be so slow against defensive-minded opposition. We just can't. And he should have remembered that from when he was a player. Like, you can't move the ball so slowly with teams who sit back. because it just gives them time to get back into shape, and B, we struggle to break that down. Like, we rely, especially under Carrick, on counterattacks. It's difficult for us to break those down, especially when you don't have someone like Shesko. And getting the ball forward, letting them get back in numbers, and trying to like pass it back, cycle possession in an effort to maybe coax them out of their shape, out of that low block. It only works if you're up a goal. When you're down a goal, or when you have a team like Everton who are probably happy with a draw even at home, they're not going to come out of their shape. They're too well disciplined. They're too patient there. They don't care. We have to build quickly. We have to get the ball to those wide players or play it long. And we have to be perfect when it comes to winning the second balls. They've got a lot of big guys in their back line, Tauskowski and whatnot. We have to win the second balls like we did against Liverpool. We have to be alert to that. Get that ball forward, move it quickly. We cannot take so long to get up the tempo, be more direct, balls into the box, put those chances away. No more of these missed chances by like one-footed, like when Xerxes missed that header recently, like Bruno's putting the ball wide, Cunha's putting the ball. We have to at least get him on target. Get him on target, show that you're dialed in, and I'll be happy. I'm happier if we score, but let's get these shots on target. Concede early like we did earlier in the season, though. This could be a carbon copy of that 1-0 defeat we saw against them at Old Trafford. We cannot afford that. And honestly, Everton wouldn't bat an eyelash to sit and park the bus and do exactly what they did before. That is what they're going to do. So we can't give them the opportunity to. Danny says, I might start Shesko, but don't know who to drop, Ahmad or Cunha. Yeah, let me know your starting 11, because Shesko has to start for me. Like, he just does. Here's my 11 that I'm going with. I'll let you guys let me know what you think about it. Because based on who's fit and what I want to see, honestly, Ahmad's the one who's probably getting the drop for me. Not because he's doing anything wrong. Just somebody's got to get dropped. It just is what it is. And then sometimes you do have to think about substitutions and what some of these players can do later on. And I think Ahmad coming on as a sub might offer a little bit more, because he does take care of the ball a little bit. He does find a way to get into the box, and I do think that he can pin their fullbacks back even deeper than before. Shesko's got to start. Without his height and without an out-and-out 9 on the pitch, we have no focal point for our attack, especially when there's no space in behind to run against a team like Everton. Mbeumo is wasted as a 9. They're vulnerable against crosses. Shesko, Casemiro, Maguire, they can be deadly for us, especially on set pieces. So I do want to just put ourselves in the best position. Furthermore, like I said, Shesko can be useful at flicking on these long balls from Lamens or from Licha, and we just need some runners around him, pace around him, movement around him. That can be a useful asset. It's something that Carrick utilized a lot at Middlesbrough. It's what helped him get like Chuba Apcom involved. Shaw's going to have his handfuls against Njai. Cunha and Licha will need to be helpful. They'll need to be alert to Njai's movement. Need to be alert to Dewsbury Hall, who likes to float around in those central spaces. So then communication, willingness to track back from Cunha, it's going to be key. The sort of goals we've conceded this season are easily avoidable and they've happened because of switching off, a lack of focus, a lack of communication, but they're exactly the kind of goals that Everton rely upon. And so I don't want us to be punished here. What are you guys thinking here? Danny says, tempo and one-touch football went out the window. Yeah, we need to move the ball faster, like Stephanie says. Yeah, it's the same. We saw it against Wolves and whatnot when Dylan and I it was just slow. It's too slow, and you can't do that against these bottom table, low block side. You have to get the ball back or get the ball forward quicker. Bexy's going with that 11, basically. Yeah, Danny's thinking the same. Somebody says Carrick won't drop Dallo. I'm convinced Diogo isn't accomplish it. And it just, yeah, this is just what I'm going with. Carrick probably won't drop Dallo. I get that. But this is what I'm going with, because I can't. Dallo's defensive. He's not defensive minded. He's athletic, but he doesn't have any sort of footballing IQ. He doesn't know who to pick up. He doesn't keep an eye on his runners. He switches off too easily. He's constantly done on the wings, and he did it time and time again. We've conceded goals because he just allows these people too much space on the ball. He doesn't put pressure on the ball. He doesn't get tight, and it's super annoying. We've conceded so many goals strictly because of Diogo Dallo's poor defending. As far as team new goes, De Ligt obviously still not fit. We're going to talk a little bit briefly about De Ligt on the Kickabout this week, because obviously Dylan and I are finally going to get to do our 200 million pound rebuild for United. So Dylan's got his picks. I've got my picks. I've recently talked a little bit about center backs. We'll talk a little bit about this on Wednesday because I'm starting to get a little concerned about De Ligt, but he's not fit. Mount is back in training, not quite ready to make the betch, I think. Dorgu obviously still out, but I've read that his recovery is coming along smoothly. But the team selection here is going to play a big role for us. And this is how I want to start. I want to go strong. I want to go direct. I want to go physical. I want to use Cunha and Mbumo. But I think, again, Šeško is going to be key here. Maybe bring on Ahmad later on against some tired fullbacks, tired legs, get into the box, maybe win us a pen or something. But this is how I'm going to start right now. Steph says 9 likes. Yes, if we can get double digits, that would be super duper. But yeah, let me know your starting 11s. I want to know your scores too. Let me know what you think this is going to look like when the final whistle blows. Because I'm going to go 2-1 United for this one. Don't ask me why. It's pretty arbitrary. But I think Šeško and Casemiro, I think they're going to be key. We've seen, time and time again, Casemiro is key for us when we win free kicks in and around the box. Šeško has shown that he's come on as a sub. He's made the difference. He's saved us points recently. I think Šeško, it's time to start him. It's time to stick him in the box, stick him in the center pitch, let him win those headers, let him make those runs, let him pull defenders this way and that. Everton, like I said, are not good defending crosses in the box, and I want height. I want ability. Set pieces are going to be key. We are, I think, top of the league right now for set piece goals. Everton are not great at defending them. We need just play with the toys that God gave you. We're good at that. Just get it done, man. And they don't score many goals, rarely more than one. Everton, again, their plan is going to be to sit deep, wear us down until they can exploit us on a counterattack. So we have to be patient as well. But we also have to move that ball quickly. They're at home. Their fans will have an expectation to be entertained. Let's ruin that for them. Let me know your favorite moment from this fixture, too. I'm going to ask that at the start, but I want to know your favorite moment. Most people are probably going to pick Garnacho's goal that won in the Puskás under Ruben Amorim. Maybe Valencia's screamer. That was a thing of beauty as well a couple years back. If you remember that one, it was a good goal as well. Danny's going 3-1 United. Yeah, I'm going 2-1. I do think that it will be a little bit tight. To me, this is all going to be down to who scores first. If they score first, I expect a carbon copy. If we score first, I think you will see a little bit of a period where they're still going to be a little bit disciplined, but the longer it would go on with us being ahead by a goal, they're going to have to come out of their shape. They're going to have to step outside, and that's where we can really add to their misery and get another one, because we do like the space as well, but we just have to move the ball quicker. We just have to. We have no excuses. Whoever scores that first goal is going to set the tone for what happens in the rest of the match. Now, that doesn't mean you panic stations if we concede first, but you will see a shift, and it will be a long day out if we concede first. Liverpool, again, they managed a late winner. It sucks. They're so jammy. United, Chelsea, Liverpool on 45 points. We do have the game in hand, so a win could put us within 3 points of third place Aston Villa. You guys know I don't like relying on rivals dropping points, though. It's just where we are right now. But lose, we could drop to 6th place. It's just the way that things are right now. Draws are pretty much losses for everyone at this stage of the season, especially for clubs seems like us who are really trying to cement a spot in the top 4, at least the top 5. Draws are going to be losses. The point isn't going to be helpful. It's not fair to put that demand or that expectation of going unbeaten on Michael Carrick at this stage of the season. But it's out of necessity. We simply can't afford to drop unnecessary points. And this is an example of unnecessary points that we can't afford to drop. Bexy says Šeško needs half a chance at the minute. Start him. Yeah. He's in good form. The problem is, again, playing just once, like it's been almost 2 weeks. I do worry that throws off your match rhythm. I know we turned down the chance to play a friendly during these last couple of weeks. I think Carrick just wanted more time on the training pitch. Obviously, the players had a little bit of time off, but hopefully he's fresh. Bexy's going 1-0 United. Yeah, I do think it's going to be close. I said 2-1. Let me know your thoughts. Let me see what you guys are predicting here in the poll. So 78% of you are going with a United win. 22% of you are going with a draw. Nobody's predicting an Everton win. That's the right answer, right? We don't want an Everton win. If they do the double over us in the league this season, I'm going to be fuming. Bexy says, everyone's dropping points at the minute. United are the only team I can see getting some real consistency. Well, we'll see. I hope that the West Ham result and the performance, I hope that wasn't just us kind of reverting to the mean. I hope that was just maybe a blip, but it's up to Carrick and the team to show us that it wasn't a blip, to show us, okay, it was a wake-up call. Maybe we were a little too slow. Maybe we're a little complacent because they're about to get relegated, whatever. But we need to move the ball quickly, like I said. Speaking of relegation, how shit are Spurs? How fuming is everybody that the way that Spurs played today and the way they're playing this season, and we still lost them in the Europa League final? I'm absolutely fuming that with the way Spurs played today, because it's just, do you not care? Like they didn't even show up against their freaking rivals today, Spurs. That's annoying, man. They didn't even try. There are so many players in that Spurs side that even before they, like Xavi Simons, he was so good at PSV. He was very good at Leipzig, and he just doesn't look good, man. He just looks, either it's confidence or just lack of ability. I don't know, but he doesn't look great. Jet Spence put in a shift today. Dragusin put in a shift today, but they have players who just are not good. They just don't make good decisions. And again, like I said, it was like Forest and Liverpool. It was the same. Like Forrest did everything. Like Elliot Anderson was a force of nature for Forrest. Sangare, excellent match. Murillo, excellent match. But they could not rely upon their attackers to just do the things like Anderson, Sangare, they can't do everything themselves. The ball gets to Hudson-Odoi, he slows down, or he doesn't make the run, so it go like when he should. Hutchinson, again, poor decision making, too slow. Igor was a little bit unlucky at time, but what we got here? Bloody welcome. Bloody Ave says, under Amorim, when United came back from prolonged rest, they played poor and slow. Yeah, and this is the thing I think some people, and again, doesn't mean I know everything, but just from me playing myself, I can relate. Like, I'm better when I'm playing regularly. If I go too long without playing, I'm a little rusty. I lose a little bit of that muscle memory, a little bit of that fitness. I would like to be able to play once a week. It's nice to be able to do that. This is why I think that when people say Casemiro's playing too many games, I worry that it's the exact opposite, that there's not enough games. And that is allowing, when you get older, the rust builds up quicker and it takes a little longer. But big up, Bloody. Welcome back. Bexy says Spurs have a lot of injuries, to be fair. I mean, they do, but all I can talk about is the players that they had on the pitch today. And like the way that Xavi Simons was playing was not great. Kolomouani, not super great. They just weren't really doing enough with the ball, unfortunately. And when you've got to bring on Richarlison to try to scrape something, like that's the state of it. I mean, Solanke wasn't even able to do a whole lot either. It was really annoying to watch. It was just a bad performance, and I have a thing against bad performances. Somebody says Forrest missing Elanga. I mean, he came on, he just wasn't. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm not trying to be mean because he is a United Academy product, but Elanga just not that good. He's Adama Traore without the steroids, basically. So just joking. He's quick. He's very quick, but his final decision, again, is just not great. It's just really not great. It is what it is. I meant he came out for Newcastle. Sorry. Yeah. Steph says 11 likes. So I just don't know if Elanga would have made too big of a difference for Forest, because pace wasn't really going to do anything against Liverpool, unfortunately. But what are you going to do? But if you weren't able to catch the live, you guys, let me know your 11s. Let me know your predictions in the comments. I would love to hear what you guys have to think. Make sure you guys also subscribe as well. We are 5 away from 3K as well. And it is the final call for 20% off in the United vs. Everybody store. Go get yourself 20% off something like the King of Trident shirt. I really like this one. You can get it on a mug too. I've got my Fergie Time mug. Loads of stuff in there. Love to see people getting excited. I would love to, if I saw one person wearing like one of the shirts or something out and about, like in Manchester next time I'm there, that would be a win for me. But that is going to do it for me. I don't know if we're going to have time tomorrow to do a match reaction because the game is Monday. Mondays are pretty busy for me. It's really hard to squeeze it in, and it's ending at 5 o'clock. And so we'll see how it goes. A lot of you guys are going to be, tired by the time, 5 o'clock rolls around for you. For some of you, that's like 10. So, but we'll see. Keep a lookout for that. But until next time, you guys, take it easy. Hopefully the next time we meet, we're talking about 3 points. We're talking about being high up the table. 3 points ahead of Chelsea, 3 points ahead of Liverpool, but we'll see. Take it easy, you guys. Again, let me know in the comments what your predictions are. But enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I will see you guys on the next one. Later.